The
On this
players.
list,
The
The
players.
players.
So
man,
I'm
some
a
of the players.
first before we get to the, I'm just gonna call some names out here to top 10, right? Right. So number one, they got Tyreek Hill. Number two, Lamar Jackson. And
What?
number three, Kristen McCarthy. And number four, can I repeat number four again? Number four,
Uh,
Patrick
but
Mahomes, Super Bowl champ.
number
And
five.
number five, Malak Garrett. Garrett. I forgot saying his name right. No. And
Garrett, yeah, okay.
number six, Chris Jones, which I think I like it. Number six, and Trent Williams, number seven. Number eight, TJ Watt. Think so, yeah. And number nine, Travis Kelsey. And number 10, Max Crosby. And this quarterback that I always says is not in top 10 is not on this list.
Yo,
And that quarterback go for the name Josh Allen, the
yeah, man.
captain of Western New
This,
York.
yeah, man. This list is a joke. This whole
Now,
this whole list is a big joke.
hopefully I am reading the right list. So for me to confirm that I'm reading the right list, I want to start with you, Go Chiefs. Can I please just call you by your name?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, dude. Do whatever you want.
Oh man.
So talk to me about this ranking, bro. Is this the right list that I just? Is this the right list?
I mean, I wish it wasn't, but unfortunately, it is. Musa, this is the right list. This is what NFL players have said. You know what? These are the top 10 players of the past year. Now, I will say this, which I think this is very, very dumb.
Yeah, it
This
is really done.
list, th- I agree. This list was voted in November. Why are we voting in November? Shouldn't we wait to at least like December, January at best? Because how many times have we seen players get off to a hot start and then fizzle? You know what I mean? So
But that list is dumb. No matter what month it started, that list don't
Wait,
make
wait,
sense.
wait, wait, wait,
It
wait,
it
wait.
doesn't matter what month.
Let's just go one at a time here, man. But so let's start with you for a minute, right, Angie? Right? Why do you think the list is dumb? Do you think that Patrick Mahomes being rated, I mean, being ranked number four is an issue? Do you got a
it's
problem with
a
that?
huge issue. It's a huge issue. Are you kidding me? You're saying that Lamar Jackson is better than Mahomes? Get out of here. You're saying CMC is better than Mahomes? Beat it. Tyreek Hill? Great. Great. He's got one of these because of the guy that's at number four. He's got one. Listen, Tyreek Hill, wild card. See ya. Beat it. Lamar Jackson, AFC Championship. See ya. Beat it. CMC, Super Bowl. See ya. Beat it. I mean, you have Jamar Chase being interviewed by the NFL the NFL films asking who does he think the number one player in the league is, and he is so butthurt because the Chiefs have eliminated them the past 2 years, and for the playoff contention this year, he didn't even want to say Mahomes' name. He said, "I'm not saying that guy's name. You know who it is, but I'm not saying his name." So you got somebody who's an enemy of Mahomes saying he's number one
How do you know he wasn't talking about Charlie Hill?
because he said the guy that because he said the guy that won back-to-back championships.
Okay.
So that's a very
Ah,
select few. And now people are saying, well, Mahomes is voted for because he got off to a slow start. Okay, but are we comparing Mahomes to Mahomes? Because if you compare Mahomes to his greatest season, then he's never gonna hit that. He's not gonna bust out for 50 touchdowns and 12 interceptions again and 5,097 yards. He's not gonna do that. They're saying, well, Mahomes was carried by his defense. Oh, so now it's his defense that he was carried by. So why didn't L'Jarius Sneed make the list top 100 at all? Why didn't Trent McDuffie make the top 100 list at all? Why did Aaron Rodgers, who played 4 snaps, rank number 92? Why didn't Jalen Jones from Chicago, who's probably the best corner, at least in the NFC, I want to say AFC, but he's definitely top three, get into the top 100 at all? So I just did a little digging. Patriots, 6 Super Bowls. But I personally went to Tom Brady with his 7. These are the defenses ranked. Let's see. They rank sixth, first, third, fourth, 15th, which is their lowest, eighth, first, fifth, and seventh, and eighth. That's the defenses that Tom Brady played with. So should we credit Tom Brady or should we credit the defense that he played with? But he was
Well,
ranked number one. He was ranked number one in 2020 with an eighth ranked defense, and he had a bad year that year. But he won the Super Bowl against a team that I forget who it was. We don't need to go there.
Yeah,
But
we know who it was.
I'm just saying, this sometimes eye test matters, and you just gave a three-time Super Bowl champion even more internal motivation. And I've never seen a team who's went back to back going for a three-peat who is the odds-on favorite to say we still doubt you. We don't think you're good enough. Travis Kelsey being at number 9. If we're going based off in November, he doesn't deserve it. He didn't have the best year he had. He had a great
right,
playoff run, but
right.
leading up to that, everybody was saying he's old, he's slow, he's lost a step. Mahomes, him and the none in the same connection. That's all bull jive, man. It's all bull jive. That's a pack of manure with a bunch of cows behind it. I don't want to hear any of that. All right, I don't want to hear any of that. This list is bogus. This list is ass a 9, ass a 10, ass a 11, and ass a 12. It should be thrown out. It should be burnt. We all know who
No.
number. We all know who number one is. We all
Okay.
know who number one is. That's all I'm
So
saying.
so let's just say for the sake of argument, right, that you put my home number one. So you're
hmm
telling me Lamar Jackson should be number 2.
No.
Lamar Jackson is the season MVP, bro.
Okay.
So if my home was number 1, first of all, Tyreek Hill is the first wide receiver that ever hit the grace in the 14 years history. He's the first wide receiver that made it number 1. You know,
hmm
mostly I'm guessing was quarterbacks. I wasn't following it like that for the past 14 years, but you telling me that Lamar Jackson is not number 2 when he's the season MVP?
I'm not mad that he's number 2. I want to put him at number 2. If he wants to be number 2, okay. He's definitely be top 3, top 4. I want to put him at number 2.
I think that yes, I agree with you that I think Mahomes should be number 1, but you can ignore Tyreek's numbers.
Oh no,
Tyreek was,
absolutely not.
yeah. So they're going by the players' performance throughout the season last year. I think Tyreek got a shot to say, okay, you know what, I should be number 1. But Super Bowls matters, championship matters. I mean, but Solomon, why you think this list is a why do you have an issue with the list? Because I don't want to call it disgrace. Because I don't mind it. I just don't like the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot could have went
First,
either way.
first of all, this whole list is bullcrap. It doesn't make sense. Are they talking about who was the best player, who had more influence on their team? Like what standard are we using here? What's the
just
standard?
just the best players of this season. But they do the list in November, so the system is flawed already. That's all I'm saying. The system
If that's
itself
the
is flawed, and then
if
the
that's the
players make it
case,
worse by voting on it. But go
right?
ahead.
If that's
I
if
could sit there. Hold on, let me get there. I could sit there and agree with you, right, Andrew? Because I love my home. But we're not gonna sit there thinking Patrick should be number 1 in everything now. Come on now, give somebody else a shot to say, okay, Tyreek Hill probably deserve it based on the numbers. I think Lamar Jackson deserved the number 2 spot based on because of we're gonna get to that because of all the everything else
oh,
that's around him. You know, but I want to know Solomon's reason why this because I think I know, but I want to hear from him. Why did he think that this list is he got issue with this list? Excuse me.
first of all, this list should be about who are the best players. Which players have a bigger impact on their team? That's what this list should be. Not about who played a better game up to November. If that's the case, then Joe Flacco should be on this list. Joe Flacco was one of the best quarterbacks in that period, right? See, this whole don't make sense. And I know a lot of players. They're selling players that they don't really like. When it comes to NFL players, we know that a lot of these players they don't like certain players that win a lot or for whatever reasons. That's why them voting it doesn't. I would rather have the general managers maybe vote, not these players. Well, these players, like for example, Tyreek Hill, Alama Jackson, 1 and 2. Come on, It doesn't even make sense. First of all, like the impact that Patrick Mahomes has on the NFL or the Chiefs. Now those players put together can be combined to Patrick Mahomes. The kind of influence and power that he has, and even just the whole package as a player. So that's why I was curious to really find out like what was the standard they were using. Just the 4 weeks, the 4 games they played until November. That's all they were using. And why would they vote in November? We're not even halfway through the season. So that's why this whole list doesn't even make sense. Now, if they did at the end of the season, it might make a little sense. But in November, are you gonna tell me that Patrick that Tyreek Hill and Lamar Jackson are 1 and 2 in November? Come on.
Okay, so I was thinking that you got issue with the list because your boy Josh Allen is not on the list. I think that this list doesn't.
Well, this right. The whole list doesn't make sense. Now, if you go, like I say, if you're going by the standard of what players have more impact, I would think Josh Allen should be on the. But if they're just going for the 4 5 games played until November, I guess I can't even argue because it's not even that important to me. If you're gonna make a list in November when you're not even halfway through the season, doesn't even make sense.
You see, we
That's why so that's why it's so dumb.
us as a fans, we are never going to be satisfied no matter what. You know what I mean? Because we sound just like the players. The players made this list. When the players doesn't choose ranking, the media does or the GMs or whoever, we like, well, the players should have right to vote. The players should have right to do that. So there's a players ranking this. I mean, choose this ranking. But I do agree though. Patrick Mahomes is for me is the best player in the NFL. You know, but if they're just going based on the numbers, you know, that I can understand otherwise. But I think that I would have put Mahomes one and of course
Yeah,
Lamar
but
Jackson second.
it's not even by the numbers. It was in November. What numbers do you have in November?
Now that was
This is
they
what
he said Andrew just said they voted last November, right?
Yeah, it's like okay. Here's my issue with it. You wait to the end of the season.
right.
So these rankings don't come out until end of like mid July, and like just it's like July to August. That first week, these rankings come out. They go from 191 each week. Okay, cool. I got no problem with that. Why not wait to February and start interviewing players? Reach out to players. They they come in, fill out something, email, call. These rankings don't come out to July, so why are we doing something in November that could just very well be done in February, and you guys still have 3 4 months to tally up these votes and figure out what's what, so that way we have a true answer by the players and not basing it off of what have you done and not going to do because we know Lamar Jackson is just going to choke because that's what he's always done. Sorry, that is a stray that Lamar Jackson is catching, and that's just how it
Ah,
is. That's just how it's gonna be because we all know that Lamar Jackson can't get the big one. Just
He
saying, just
can't
throwing
get
that
the
out
big
there.
one, but then check his numbers. You can't get the big one, but check his resume. He can't get the big ones, but look at what he has done. Season MVP. How did he get the season's MVP? Okay, right. I understand. I understand what you're saying right now, right? Okay, that's cool. I see the trophy, right? But answer this question for me, okay? Right? Answer this question. Wait, answer this question. Is Peyton Manning a great quarterback?
Is
who?
who?
Peyton, Peyton Manning is he a great
Him.
quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah, all
Is
time.
Drew wait is Drew Brees a great quarterback? Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, and I already know what you're going. Already know where you're probably going with this. But go ahead.
Is Steve Young a great quarterback?
Who?
Steve Young.
He all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
John Alloway
This is
is John Alloway a great quarterback?
yes.
As a Chiefs fan, I have to say no.
Okay. All these
But
quarterbacks didn't win a Super Bowl until they get in the early 30s or late 30s. Lamar Jackson is 28 years old, my guy. And
he
then
ain't
when
winning no
you
Super
look at
Bowl.
Lamar,
He,
what?
he ain't winning. He ain't winning the Super Bowl
I
anytime soon.
understand. I understand all you guys in the AFC. That's what we're gonna get to the AFC right now, right? Is
John Elway didn't win the Super Bowl until Terrell Davis stepped on the door and said, "Here, let me just hand it off to you." That's why John Elway won a Super Bowl. But continue.
okay. Okay, I will continue, right? So Lamar Jackson, 28 years old. He
Hmm.
comes in this league in the NFL. He didn't get Tyreek Hill, no Kelsey. He doesn't have Stephon Diggs, Chase, all these top wide receivers you could think about. Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, all these wide receivers. His whole career, he didn't had none of these wide receivers in his team, but he
But you
won
know
season
why? I'm
MVP twice. Go ahead, why?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna interrupt you
Go ahead.
because he had to build a team around his skill set. In his career area, he was
What
not
do
run.
you say? They
He was
have to
not
build.
known. He couldn't throw the ball. He was just known as a runner. He only developed that later on.
So a quarterback with 4,000 yards passing is can't throw the ball.
Absolutely. And guess what?
A
When you think of the
quarterback
That
with
was
Ravens,
le-
four
when you
thousand
think of the
that was
yards,
Ravens,
a
later.
when
quarterback
you
with
think
4,000 yards can't throw the
yes,
ball.
when you think of the Ravens, I
Man,
still think running team. Why did they get Derrick Henry? For what?
why
Running team.
They've always been a run first team. Always, always, always. They've
what
been
does
like
that
that
has
since the early
what
2000s.
does it has to do with the weapons that this other quarterback has that he never had it, but he's still that's why he's the season MVP because he
Because
Blame
had
the
because
GM.
no because he had less to work with and still produce a winning record and he still produced numbers.
Did you not see the receivers Mahomes had to work with last year?
That was last year. I understand that. That's the reason why I told you that my home for me is the GOAT. I'm not gonna
I,
deny that.
I
You know
appreciate
what
that.
I'm saying?
Thank you. Go
Hey, I
ahead.
know. I
Continue.
mean, like, I'm not gonna
Continue,
deny
Musa.
that. I agree
Continue,
with that.
Musa.
But when you look at a quarterback, since he's been in the league, and you look at everybody else in the conference, man, Josh Allen was nothing until Dick showed up.
Mm.
Even the beginning of Patrick Mahomes' career, he had one of the best wide receiver, which the players vote him as number one player. Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, if he's not the greatest tight end ever played a game. And you got Joe Burrow over there with two wide receivers that probably already they're gonna probably be Hall of Famers one day. Lamar Jackson started his career just be, hey, go do you.
Now hold
Come
on.
on,
Time
man.
out. Time out. Time out.
Come
Time out.
on, man.
We're talking about the Baltimore Ravens organization, who's widely known for being one of the best front offices ever. So blame the GM for not going out there and finding the talent.
And
You
that's
have the talent on defense. You had a hell of a defense last year, and you couldn't score more than 17 points.
and that was his fault.
You couldn't do more.
And that was his fault.
Absolutely, it was his
And that's
fault.
absolutely his fault. Does Lamar
Stop,
Jackson wait.
stop taking sacks.
Wait,
Stop
wait,
taking
wait.
sacks in the back.
Wait. Does Lamar Jackson got a Handy Reid on the sideline? Nobody not blaming the head coach.
So John Harbaugh is a slouch coach now.
How many playoff wins he has since he won the Super Bowl?
Who?
3. In 11 years, he won three playoff. Any other coach would have been fired.
Who? John Harbaugh?
The Baltimore Ravens since the Super Bowl. Since the Super Bowl they won about 11 years ago. He won. They only won, I think, about 3 playoff games.
And
And you
who
think
was the
that's a
co-
great?
and who was the quarterback?
You tell me. I
Mm,
don't know.
Who was the
mm.
quarterback?
I
Who was
don't
the
know. You tell
quarterback?
me. I
Lamar
mean,
Jackson been there for at least half of them. At least
exactly.
half of them
And he
years.
has nobody to deal with because, like, it's just like the other day. I mean, I was having this conversation with a Bill fan, right? He was blaming everything on the head coach. No blame at all for Josh Allen. Everything was because of our coaching doesn't know how to do this. Our coaching doesn't know how to
No,
do that. Coaching doesn't date. The coach doesn't do
no,
that,
it's
bro.
it's the whole
But when you
team. It's
look at
not a whole.
Lamar
It's the whole
Jackson,
team.
especially last year in the Chiefs game, yes, I was rooting for the Chiefs to win. But bro, we all know that the coaching did not help him because they didn't use his strength. They want him to be something that he's not. Like you guys say, he's not a passer,
Okay.
but he's
All
not
right.
just a pass first player.
So Musa, what are you trying to? What's the main point here about Lamar?
The same thing. That's my point. You guys keep saying he haven't get the big one yet, but you need a team around. When LeBron James jump around, go get all these players around. Oh, everybody needs somebody to win with. Why we can't say the same thing for Lamar Jackson?
But how come you don't have the same energy defending other quarterbacks too that have been won that have been playing well?
Like who?
Lamar Jackson. Like for instance, okay,
Like who?
you got the
No, wait a minute.
Baltimore
Like
Ravens.
who?
You got the Baltimore Ravens,
Like
number
who?
one seed, best defense. I test the at media was saying, everybody was saying, you got the Chiefs at home. Where you want them? you fall behind.
You consider
So
saying
now,
about the
so now,
Buffalo
so
Bill.
now, and now, so now, if you're a great quarterback,
You
if
can say
you're
the
a great
same thing about the
quarterback,
Buffalo Bills.
you go out there and you carve that number two defense in the league. If you're a great quarterback, but you're not,
You can
you're
say the
behind.
same
So now
thing about
you
the
abandon
Buffalo
the
Bills,
run, you abandon the run game,
bro.
and now
Bro,
they give you 40 times to pass the ball,
bro,
and you get
you
10
telling me
points.
you
You get
telling me
10 points off of 40
you tell
passes, and
and
he's
you
number
telling
two. No, no,
listen,
no.
you
He
telling me
plays
you
like number two when it matters. That's the man. He plays like number two when it matters.
and
We all know
Oh
that.
boy.
We all know that.
listen, bro. I'm not saying that he's better than Patrick Mahomes, but I'm just saying like Lamar Jackson had less to work with his whole career than the rest of his quarterbacks, and that's
Blame the
something you
No,
GM.
but
respect.
Blame the
it's
GM.
not. It's not that. It's not even that. It's a system. It's a system they have. It's the kind of quarterback that they drafted. First of all,
Wait.
hold on.
Wait.
Let me
May
let
you
me
talking
let
about
me
a
finish.
system? May you
Let me
talk about a
finish.
system? Go ahead.
Let me finish. Let me finish, please. Listen. Do you remember when they drafted Lamar? Even some people even suggested that he should play receiver.
Some
Okay,
people that
it
was
is
doubted him.
exactly. So when the Ravens drafted him with his skill set, they had to build a team around him that they thought, like Lino said, one of the best organizations in the NFL. So they built that team according to his skill set because they wanted him to make him successful. And the way they constructed the way they constructed that team, they did not get him the receivers like you wish they did. So don't say he didn't get any help. What he didn't have Tyreek Hill, but he had the best defense, right? Listen, you can't have everything. You can have a good defense. You can have receivers.
The
You
Buffalo
just
Bills had everything
you
for
kind of
Josh Allen. He still didn't
no
go nowhere. How
no
many? No,
they
wait.
they
Answer
didn't
this
have
question.
they didn't have everything.
Answer this question. How many yards, rushing yards, Josh Allen had last season?
How many yards
Yeah,
he led the NFL?
but it
I'm,
still has
I'm, I'm,
Stefan Diggs.
so what's the point?
He had a number one option of receiver. What you mean? What's my point? That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. There's no
Did
receivers like
you
Stefan
okay?
Diggs that
Did you
Lamar Jackson had.
how many catches did
Josh
Steph
Allen
Diggs
did the
have?
same thing that
Hold on,
Lamar
hold on,
Jackson
hold on,
do running
hold
the
on.
ball.
How
So I'm saying
many,
the
how
system.
many, how many, how many catches did Steve Diggs have in the last 10 games of the season?
Lamar Jackson last season they had no receivers, no receivers over 1,000 yards, no running backs over 1,000 yards. Didn't the
Okay,
Buffalo Bills have receivers
who's
and running backs over 1,000 yards?
no. Wide receiver had 1,000 yards.
Bro,
Steph Diggs didn't. Gabe Davis didn't. They disappeared half the season. You know that.
yo,
Same,
you're right,
same, same.
They disappeared. They half the
look,
season.
man, come on, man. I understand. I
I
understand you
know,
guys are
I know,
AFC team,
I know
and
you
I
love
agree with you.
Lamar.
No,
I know
no,
you love.
no, no, no. This ain't got nothing
We
to do with
all
love.
know we
In the
all know you love
AFC,
Lamar Jackson.
in the AFC, my favorite player and my favorite
Is
head
Lamar
coach.
Jackson.
My favorite coach is Andy Reid, of course, and then Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. I
But
said
your
that all
favorite player is
season,
Lamar
man.
Jackson.
No, I'm just
Yes,
defending Lamar
you
Jackson for what
no
I've
no no
seen,
no
what
you
I
you
can
add
see compared to other
no
teams.
you admit